Hello viewers, in today's video we will learn about the difference between hydrochar and biochar. Already on my channel you have seen lots of videos where I'm talking about hydrochar, where I'm talking about biochar. Also you have seen me demonstrating how to prepare hydrochar, how to prepare biochar with different feedstock, how to prepare activated biochar, how to prepare activated hydrochar, its application, its properties, like how to find the density, how to find the specific gravity of hydrochar biochar, how to find the pH of that. Okay, now let's talk about the difference between hydrochar and biochar today. So we all know that hydrochar and biochar both are carbon-rich material and they are produced from different feedstock. So mainly they are biomass, but they are formed by different processes and they show different physical, chemical, and adsorption properties. For example, the hydrochar, okay, is prepared by hydrothermal carbonization. The temperature lies from 180 to 250 or 160 to 250. Some of the people you may find 120 to 250. So it's called wet biomass, and the water requirement is high, the oxygen content is high, carbon content is moderate, yield is very higher as compared to the biochar. You can see in case of biochar we pyrolyze between 300 to 700 degrees C. Okay, surface area is low to moderate, but in biochar is higher. Porosity is less, but in biochar is more. Density is higher, where the biochar has uh, lower density. Functional groups more, but in case of biochar less. Hydrophobicity is lower. Contact angle lies from 50 to 110 degrees C. Ash content is lower. Aromaticity is lower. Thermal stability is lower, and adsorptive performance could be good for polar pollutants. Okay, and is sometimes very excellent for some pollutants which are polar in nature. Now, the biochar is prepared under limited oxygen conditions. The feedstock would be rice husk, tea waste, palm leaves, wood chips, and the yield of the hydrochar is 50 to 80%, and the biochar is 20 to 45%. It depends on the weight percent and depends on the pyrolysis temperature. Okay. Now, this one is the diagram. Left extreme is your hydrochar, which is brownish, and this is blackish, the biochar. And this diagram basically is like a graphical abstract. So you can see here these are about the hydrochar properties. Okay, so the it's like less porous hydrochar, and this is more porous. Surface area is lying from 10 to 200, and this from 200 to 1000. It could be even more depending on the activation. This is more oxygenated, and this is more aromatic, fewer oxygen groups. It is slightly acidic, and this is slightly alkaline. And this has lower, I mean, energy content. This is higher, this is moderate, and this is high hydrophobicity it has. And it is used in soil amendment. This is used in adsorption, soil amendment also, and this has adsorbent, and it has also catalyst support. Okay, now whereas the hydrochar has a bulk density 0.4 to 0.8 and biochar is 0.1 to 0.5. Particle density is 1.1 to 1.5 in case of hydrochar, whereas in biochar is 100 to 1000. Porosity I told you. Electrical conductivity is lower of hydrochar and biochar is higher. Moisture affinity is hydrophilic and this is hydrophobic. And floatability is low, whereas in case of biochar is higher. And hydrochar is denser because it retains more oxygenated groups. Now you can also see some of the more comparisons like moisture content, which is higher. So the hydrochar has more and this is lower. Volatile metal, this is more, this is lower. Fixed carbon is this is lower and this is higher. Ash content also you can see this is more and this is lower. Whereas the other properties you can see, as I have already discussed, the surface area, the total pore volume, you can see this is lower and this is higher, and pore size, which is this is lower and this is higher. You can see everything also. Now we talked already about the schematic diagram. It's how it is processed and how it is made. Okay, we have already saw in our laboratory. Now the advantages, you can see the advantages of hydrochar: can process wet mass, lower energy. Okay, whereas in case of biochar it has higher surface area, higher carbon stability, excellent adsorbent, alkaline, this is acidic. Okay, it requires drier feedstock and this requires water. Okay, so these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the biochar and hydrochar. Okay, now if you see here the carbonization, so uh, if needs often washing, drying, or activation, this needs higher surface area, alkalinity. Okay, so it does not need washing after preparation, it needs washing. Okay, and the output tendency is brown black functionalized carbon with moderate porosity and high polarity, whereas this is more aromatic, more porous, and more thermally stable. Okay, already we have discussed these things in the previous discussion. Now preparation, you can see in water, this is in limited, no oxygen. Okay, already we have discussed stability is moderate and this is high. Okay, and this is wet waste valorization, you can say long-term carbon sequestration, adsorption, soil amendment. Okay, now the physical chemical properties, you can see here the moisture content, this is higher, this is lower. Already I have discussed, talked about this, which is having higher energy content, which is alkaline, which is acidic. Okay, now in morphology, basically you can see here the hydrochar basically if you see the ADS comparison, so in hydrochar the carbon content lies from 55 to 70, whereas biochar is more. Oxygen is higher in case of hydrochar, where in biochar is lower. Nitrogen is also higher and biochar is lower. Minerals similar, but in biochar there is higher ash minerals, and biochar has high carbon purity. Hydrochar contains more oxygen. So this is between the EDS trends. Now let us have a look about the functionality. So in functionality, hydrochar basically has strong peaks lying from 3200 to 3500. This is OH, and also carbon hydrogen bonds, CO bonds, and is aromatic, and it has also CO bond lying from 1200 to 1000. Whereas it contains hydroxyl, carboxylics, carbonyl. Biochar shows some groups but weaker OH, C double bond C, CO, but it has more condensed aromatic carbon. So we can say functional in terms of functionality, hydrochar is has a higher weightage as compared to biochar. Now, in the terms of thermal stability, so it has hydrochar has three stages: 30 to 150. There is a moisture loss lying from 200 to 400, and it could be because of cellulose and hemicellulose decomposition. Okay, and from 400 to 600 degrees C, it's lignin degradation. You can see in the diagram. Okay, this is for the biochar and this is for the hydrochar, which is prepared at different temperature, and the residual mass is 30 to 50%. Biochar is more thermally stable, so weight loss mainly is less than 150 degrees C, which is moisture. So there is a minor decomposition above 400 degrees C. So the residual mass lies from 60 to 90%. Biochar is more stable because of its aromatic carbon structure. Okay, now in terms of contact angle, hydrochar 50 to 110, biochar 90 to 150, and biochar is more hydrophobic and hydrochar is relatively hydrophilic. And now if we talk about STEM, so hydrochar has spherical particles, smooth surface, less pores, thin structure. Biochar is honeycomb structure, large pores, cracks and channels, highly rough surface. So biochar develops much better pore networks. And if you talk about the surface area also, the biochar is more porous. Okay, activated carbon could go between 3000 4000 also. And in performance, adsorption performance also, the biochar is more dominant. But hydrochar also could be for some polar pollutants. Okay, this we have already discussed. Okay, applications, it depends on the target pollutant. Okay, and mainly the mechanism is hydrogen bonding, complexation, electrolytic fraction. In case of hydrochar, biochar is pi interaction, pore filling, and hydrophobic interaction. So overall adsorption efficiency of biochar is more unless hydrochar is activated or functionalized or added to a filler material. Okay, advantages is we have seen that it processes wet mass and it has higher carbon stability, stronger aromatic framework. Okay, and surface is more, it's having more functional groups, has less functional groups, and it can be tuned for hydrophobic oil adsorbents by increasing HT, this temperature, best suited for long-term carbon sequestration. Okay, now disadvantages: low surface area, it has a higher surface area, and post-washing is required where there is no post-washing required. It may require activation, the biochar, and may process water management can become an environmental problem. So it could lead to a higher CO2 equivalent, okay, or emissions. And also you can see here, it is the feedstock wet? Yes. This one no. Targets of oil: use optimized hydrophobic hydrochar, use porous in case of biochar. And other one you can see, I discussed always about activation or not activation, which can be used for long-term soil carbon storage, and which is alkaline, which is not alkaline. So as a whole we can say that hydrochar is best suited for wet biomass valorization. Biochar offers higher aromaticity, porosity, alkalinity. The correct selection depends on the feedstock, target application, required pH, surface area, hydrophobicity, and stability. Okay, so this is all about the difference between hydrochar and biochar. And as a whole, we can summarize that hydrochar has higher yield, higher density, more oxygen-containing functional groups, making it attractive for heavy metal adsorption. Biochar possesses high carbon content, larger surface area, greater porosity, higher thermal stability, and larger contact angle. Okay, activated hydrochar can approach the adsorption performance of biochar, but untreated biochar is usually the better adsorbent because of its high porosity and greater surface area.